Is the Sunshine State losing its conservative shine? Join us as we unravel the discontent among Florida Republicans, the clash over culture wars, and whether pocketbook issues are being ignored in the political arena. It's time for a Sunshine State showdown.
Woo! All right, all right, all right. Hey, so despite a Republican supermajority in Florida, conservative priorities like gun rights, abortion restrictions, and election reforms did not pass. Critics blame GOP leaders for lacking backbone, while Democrats see it as a retreat from an extremist agenda. Discontent grows among far right Republicans, accusing Senate President Kathleen Passidomo of blocking critical bills. Meanwhile, economic issues like housing and insurance remain unaddressed, leaving voters disillusioned. Let's go. What say you, Joel? Uh oh, you're on mute, Joel. Can't hear you.
One of these days, we're going to figure out how to push these buttons. Now, again, it's got to give us a dig on the fact that we don't get the important issues done. But listen,
Hey,
this
the
was a this was
Republicans.
a this was a hard core. There's a lot of stuff that was brought up in this. We've talked about a lot of the stuff that was brought up. We're talking to our legislators right now and saying, "Hey, let's get you together. Let's have you guys talk about what has been accomplished." And I think we're going to get a lot of meat and potato things that they tried to get done. So yeah, maybe we didn't get the major stuff like the insurance, but we're working at getting it there. I mean, not everything was ignored. Do you see what I'm saying?
Sure.
But we didn't have a lot of this hype because hey, the president, the presidential race is going on. Ron's out there doing his thing. Gave the legislation an opportunity to actually be conservative for a change and not radical. And I'm saying that from a perspective of, you know, it's not the Tallahassee Church of Republican Christ. It's get the shit done for the people of Florida. And that I think is what they tried to do in this legislative session because of the last time there was so much criticism on how much they tackled the biblical moral issues.
And it's a little bit over the top, not a little bit, way over the top. I mean, granted, the biggest bill that was celebrated and made it through the legislature that was of note was the ban on social media for younglings under 16 years of age. Now they've modified it to, lower the age and to like 14, but then some other restrictions up to 16. But you would think that addressing property insurance issues, climate change issues, would be
Why
something.
we went so we want the climate to stop changing?
No, we want the climate to change, but we don't want Miami and the
No,
rest
no,
of
no. I'm
South
just saying,
Florida
you
to
you
change.
guys want it. You guys want the climate to stop changing. That's what you guys fighting for, right? Climate change.
I don't.
I
I
mean, you
just
guys you guys jumped off the word global warming, and because it got so cold, and now it became climate change. So first it was greenhouse gas. Hey, we got to
Mhm.
take care of the greenhouse effect, and then you realize, we teach in school that the greenhouse effect is how it works. You can't have it without the greenhouse effect. I'm
Yeah,
just joking.
this,
No,
yeah,
the
this,
insurance thing is the biggest thing.
yeah,
David,
it
the
is.
insurance thing. Keeping kids safe is great. That was very bipartisan. Thank you for all those Democrats that made that issue come to life because look,
What's
it's about
next?
children, and I'm glad that this was one bill that, you know, as the newspaper went to go attack you, they said, oh my God, I can't believe how many Democrats are involved in this too because we want children.
What's
Um,
next? What more
what's next?
censorship is next?
What's next is this huge bipartisan bill is going to fall apart when it gets to the Supreme Court,
Of
and they
course.
say, "Listen, you can't infringe on free speech. Parents need to protect their children." I'm sure there's going to be something in that bill that's going to uh, make the whole thing go to pot because every time I think this Tallahassee crew has had such a problem with speech, and I'm a big advocate of free speech, and that's why I love having a podcast with you, David. I like to be able to have conversations, and now you want to restrict. Hey, now you become a lobbyist because you mentioned the governor, or now you got to register to be a lobbyist because you mentioned so and so, or hey, next thing you're going to know, don't talk bad about Target or Walmart because hey, their lobbyists have brought the thing, a bill up that says you can't tell the cashier that they've given you wrong change. You just name it. That's how it looks like. This exactly what this legislation looks like to
It's
me. I
next.
mean, so
It's
David, don't say anything except good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
I have to agree with you on that because the assault on free speech is mind boggling. I thought this was a party of less government, less intrusive government, a government that is small enough that you can drown it in a bathtub. And wow, I am shocked. And well, I shouldn't be. I'm being facetious here. I'm not shocked. This is
Anything I can't
Republicans,
say, I'm writing
Republicans.
down.
And one of the other bills, was the anti-homelessness bill to have state-sanctioned, camps. And you and we discussed this bill before it headed to the governor's desk, which he's
Love this
likely to
bill.
sign. And yeah, I have to agree. I'm with
I
you
love,
on that.
I love
I'm
this
with
bill.
you on that. And,
Like
and I worked for more than 20 years, 30 years with the homeless community with disadvantaged children and families. I get it. At the same time, we have these camps out there already.
yep,
And if we don't take a serious look, like Miami does, in regards to its funding of homelessness initiatives. In Houston, if I remember correctly, there was an initiative that was very popular that addressed homelessness. We need that out of the box thinking, that innovative thinking to address this issue. In the meantime, DeSantis say, "Hey, we're going to have tent communities. I call them DeSantisvilles. Regardless, if it's going to be done, do it with the most logical, helpful, compassionate way as possible. Have services for individuals, and also create a system where individuals who are in these camps are transitioned out of these camps into homes."
and that goes from the fact that they should, be voting for their own mayor. They should be voting for their own, creating their own charter. They should be.
Yeah, exactly.
we are we,
The assault
we are
on
we
home
we
rule.
we are homelessville. Come join us in homelessville. Look, we're chartered. We have a mayor. We have a council, and you know what? Come on here. We'll make sure that your tent is replaced.
Yep. Yes. Yes. And
Every 6 months you can replace your tent because we're not going to be able to replace your roofs in Florida any longer.
I mean, a good point. And so many of us here in Florida, are so close to just one major health scare or one major economic scare, and we find ourselves in very desperate situations. The safety net is getting smaller and is more porous, and people are needing more and more intervention. Um, this is this is just one solution. Hopefully, it is a small temporary solution, and that it doesn't grow, and that in regards to addressing homelessness, that there's even more energy put into addressing this. I wish there was more energy from the legislature in addressing the property insurance issues. It's
I,
hard.
what I like to say is if Anthony Sabatini can give this legislative session a D and an F, you did a great job. Thank you very much. You did the conservative thing because you didn't do the radical things. And you know what? He wants to go to Congress. Please, everybody, look. Sabatini is nothing more than a train wreck. He has no right. Couldn't do any legislation or get anything passed when he was in the state house. He'll not get anything passed if he goes to the Congress. So I get to say that because look, I like the guy. I really did, but it became him and not us, and that's when I decided, you know, that I'm going to stand up against bullies, and that's all he is. So, please, guys, this was a great session. I think the title of this is kind of misleading. We actually got some real good legislation done up there. Not enough, as David has pointed out, but at least we tackled issues that were really, truthfully not crazy off the wall. Other than, hey, if you're a kid, you got your toys taken away.
Hey, did the state legislature, did the Republicans clarify that if a bear is rummaging through my garbage and if I shoot them, will I be covered under stand my ground or something else because they're considered a nuisance? Has that been clarified? Because now I think a bill was passed allowing people to shoot bears.
Good, shoot him.
Jesus.
Look, if he's in your garbage, look, if he's in your garbage place, go ahead, shoot him. But if you hit your neighbor, then you don't get to stand your ground rule. Okay, so make sure you're safe when you shoot. No, David, that's this. Sometimes you got to though, David. Sometimes you have to define it to the point where, look, in the state of Massachusetts, if a burglar is breaking into your home and you shoot him, make sure he falls in the house and not outside the house because
That's right.
that's how clarified it is. If you shoot him and he falls out of the house, you're going to jail, and you're getting charged really seriously. But if he falls in the house, okay, the game's
Axel
done.
Doctrine. Stand your ground.
Oh, you can't make this shit up. That's what the name of the show is. Please like, share, just be involved. Please, we have our newsletter coming out, The
Yeah.
Informer. If you're into politics, if you're into a better community, if you're one of those people that has a voice and wants to share it, let us look at your content. Have your content sent to us, and we'll put you in. Not an advertisement, but if you're really truly trying to take care of the community and you have great ideas, we're your political innovators. We're a company that's looking for great ideas. So please get us those ideas and let us put them in our newsletter. And then you subscribe so that you can help
Yeah.
get your message out there.
Oh yeah, please subscribe. We are growing our community across all of our social media platforms, and we will love to hear what you have to say about this topic and all of the topics that we cover. What do you want us to cover? We will do our research. We do our research. We prepare for our shows, and we would love for you to comment on what our opinion is. And again, bring your facts, not your feelings, because we want to have an intelligent, honest conversation with you. We're your political innovators, and we're always thinking, we're always innovating, and what we do is very important to us, and it's important to our community. So please, again, as Joel said, hit the notification button, subscribe, hit the like button. Of course, we love those likes, and of course, we want to engage with you and comment. Please comment.
Tune in next week because we're going to find out how a supervisor of elections gets kicked off the canvassing board. Tune in next week for You Can't Make This Shit Up.
You can't.